But I want to get back to Peter Alexander at the White House with a little bit of developing news about the president in Pennsylvania, I understand, Peter?
Yeah, Kate, that's exactly right. As we noted, there will be a news conference taking place in Pennsylvania about 10 to 15 minutes from now. But we just received a statement from the Trump campaign about the newest actions, the legal actions they're taking, in their words, to, quote, fight for the integrity of the most important election in our lifetime right now. So at issue here is the fact that, as we noted, in that state, they can receive ballots that are postmarked by yesterday, Election Day, through this Friday, and that those ballots would be counted. That was upheld by the Supreme Court. Well, now, according to this new statement from the Trump campaign, the action they are taking, they are suing to stop the counting of those ballots right now. They want to try to pursue this case further with an effort to try to get, I suspect, the Supreme Court to weigh in at another time on it, now that there is another Trump nominee, now Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who is on the court. And separately, that they are demanding access to these voting locations in Pennsylvania, where some of the the counting process is taking place as well. Something similar to what they have done earlier today in Michigan. So not clear that they have yet filed suit, but that they will be filing suit in Pennsylvania as well. Again, Rudy Giuliani, the president's personal attorney, will be among those who is delivering this statement of some kind to take place only a short time from now. As we've been reporting, they are looking for any possible avenue to try to claw back some of these states. This is a state where they have an advantage right now, but there is, I think, 1.3 something million votes still out there. And if you look at the math, particularly in the bottom right of that screen, those collar counties around Philadelphia, the expectation is that a lot of those votes, many of them mail-in ballots, yet to be counted. They didn't begin the process of looking at them until yesterday. That those ballots and the ones that they may receive in the next several days could make this a much closer race for Joe Biden.
And Peter, I want to put a point on that, because, and to clarify, these are ballots that were legally cast, that were sent in and postmarked by Election Day, right? That were going to be allowed to be counted, but had been cast by Election Day. And now the Trump campaign is saying, don't even count them.
Yeah, Kate, no, you're exactly right about those ballots. These are ballots that were postmarked by Election Day, but to be clear, they may not even be in the receipt of the election officials yet. They may not have them yet. They still have 48 hours. They have until Friday for those to be received. So there could still be more ballots coming in that swells that number. Obviously, that's of concern. The Trump campaign officials say they want the Philadelphia officials to play by the rules. They say it's only the Congress or the legislature in that state that can change these rules, that can extend a deadline. They say, in effect, that that is not allowed, that they are breaking the rules in Philadelphia. And that's the effort that they're pursuing there.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.